Hey, Dan, just start off by talking about what the seniors have meant to this team and bringing the team back.
Said the seniors?
Yes.
Yeah, I mean, just when we got here, things weren't, things were messy, and we identified Josh and Tyler and Isaiah as just, young men with work ethic and character that, came from, great families, and that, we could, rebuild, take on a rebuild of this magnitude, with those guys as kind of foundation pieces in terms of the culture. Those guys have, have really changed the trajectory of the program the last 3 years. And the fact that they wanted to stay, and they knew it was going to be hard, and they knew it wasn't going to be instant gratification because of how bad a shape things were. Their legacy is, is cemented, with the shape that they, that they potentially, will leave the program in if this is their last, their last season.
Roger?
Yeah, that leads to the point where all three players said that you did invite them back next year. Do you know if they fit into that plan for year 4 yet, or is it something that you'll evaluate after the season?
Yeah, I mean, we're after the season. That's that's not something that we're discussing. Staff-wise, we have conversation, and we have recruiting meetings about late signing period and future classes. But once everything's in the books, we'll sit down with these guys and figure out what's best.
Dave?
Dan, Senior Day 2018 at URI. Is that an example of, at the time things were going well, and then was that an example that you can reference that where you really need to just keep the momentum going, keep the foot on the pedal, and even though it's an emotional day tomorrow, keep focused? And would that even be something you'd mention to the guys this year? Or?
Yeah, I mean, I think our biggest problem that year was that we clinched the regular season too soon, and I should have been more involved, and not allowed the celebration. It was anticlimactic. So, I learned a lot from that experience, but our focus is on the game. We'll do nostalgia and take a stroll down memory lane, after we've played our last game this year. It'll be neat to have the family here, but I think the lack of crowd will make this more of just a game.
Wayne?
Dan, speaking of the game, and that first Georgetown game, you had a +16 on the glass and a season-high 50 points in the paint. Your inside game was incredible in that game. How did you do that, and how important is it to do it again tomorrow?
I mean, that's our identity, by every time we play, trying to be the hardest playing team on the court. Defensively, on the glass, I mean, the things you can control in basketball, you can't always control how well you shoot it, but you can control your effort, your attitude, how you defend, and how you rebound. So that's our identity: toughness, defense, rebounding, togetherness.
Any other questions, guys?
Phil, can I hop in? I don't have a raise hand function.
Yep, go ahead.
Hey, Dan, could you share your thoughts on what Josh has meant to the program specifically, and his middle 2 years starting all the games as he did, and how he's also handled this year in a bit of a secondary role? And even Adama said he's been valuable behind the scenes for his development.
Oh man, Josh, just raised obviously by an incredible family. In terms of just his character and how he's handled everything. This year it's tough situation. For a guy that's started as many games and his expectations, but he's battled his tail off. Every single day he has fought and pushed Adama and pushed himself to try to regain his spot or increase his role. So he's been relentless. But by the same token, he's been like an incredible teammate and mentor for Adama and an incredible teammate, for our players. So like he hasn't given in as a player and he hasn't made it about him. So, he's been all you can ask for. And, without him, we don't win. USC game is pretty big. Was a pretty big win for this program. I think when you look back, when this thing's all said and done, Josh had a huge hand in that. So.
Roger?
What are you most pleased about with the team right now as you head into the final regular season game and towards the postseason?
Oh, I mean, I would say just how hard these guys have fought through the COVID pauses, through, the multiple injuries. It wasn't just, the Book Night, injury. The Andre Jackson one killed us, in the preseason and during the season, not having, Andre available. What he's done for our defense since our defense was trending down, and since Andre's been back, now we're trending towards top 25, top 20 level defense. So just the way these guys have battled, and this has not been an easy year with the COVID and the lack of crowd and the way their lives have been disrupted, the way that they've just stayed in there and continued to battle for their season and to turn this thing around here.
Gavin? Dan, why Tyrese has continued to play hard. He hasn't scored as much as that. Any concern at all he's worn down, or is it just he hasn't needed to?
No, I think this is obviously it's a different different level in terms of the night in, night out quality that you're faced with in this league. I just think he's going through a tough stretch. And I'm confident that he'll get it going. But I mean, we need him on the glass. We need him defending. We've got a deep team. We have a deep team, so we don't need anyone to get caught up in how their individual offensive night is going. We have enough good players that we'll find enough guys to have some offense. We got to be elite defensively, and we got to rebound, and he helps us do both.
Clark, Kellogg, you have a question?
Sure do. Hey, Danny, looking at tomorrow's game particularly, what are you guys highlighting as bullet points for keys to success? I mean, you were dominant on the glass in the first meeting, got what you needed from your guards in terms of creating good offense and managing the game, but specifically, what have you highlighted as must-dos for tomorrow?
Yeah, I would say from a defensive standpoint, our ball screen defense was pretty leaky at times in the first game. Clark, we were either late getting out to hedge and we got split, or fouled the dribbler. And then our paint holds with the roller, and then still being able to get out to the 3-point shooters, because they really, with Belay and Blair and Pickett, they really kill you in the ball screen and roll game, with those corner skips. So they do a great job, that way. And then offensively, we started fast and then we just got really, really sloppy. So, we just want to play a cleaner game offensively, and obviously, our identity is built around our defense, our rebounding. We've been getting, obviously, tremendous guard play from RJ and James and so Wahab. I mean, they've got 3 guys, that are like guys you would consider for like all conference in this league. in Wahab, Pickett, and Blair. And Belay has played great for them. So they're not a real deep team. So we obviously want to really get after them, extend our defense, and try to really just wear them out.
Clark, you had a follow?
Yeah, I do have a follow-up. Jackson, if you could just speak to what he potentially can be. I mean, I've watched just a couple of games recently, and there seems to be tremendous upside with what he can become. I mean, obviously his energy defensively, but as you look at him as a coach, what are you hoping he becomes? What do you think he can become as a player for you going forward?
Yeah, special guy, Clark, and I think, again, there wasn't enough attention, when we were kind of treading water in the league, and he was missing games. That he was a huge part of this year 3 plan. So getting him back healthy, it puts us in a position because of his elite athleticism, and he's 6'7" with length. What he could do for us on the glass defensively, and then as a playmaker passer, he's really got brilliant vision. So, I think he's going to be the same, the same type of player for us that a Bouknight is in terms of being a special guy. Just may do it more in like that triple-double, eventually that triple-double type of way, close to double-figure rebounds, 6, 7, 8 assists, double-figure points, steals, blocks. I mean, he's the best athlete I've ever seen in person.
Wow.
Bouknight, might not. Somebody's going to put that on Twitter, and Bouknight's going to shot that to me. But yeah, he's a freak of all freaks, and I think he eventually, will be drafted as a point guard.
Wow. Wow. Thank you. Appreciate it.
You got it.
Tom?
Yeah, Dan, I know you've added Brendan Adams to the honorees tomorrow because he's going to be graduating in just 3 years. I know the season hasn't quite gone maybe the way he would have liked, but can you speak to what an accomplishment that is and what that says for the program that he's been able to do that?
Yeah, I mean, I didn't know what was in the release, but I mean, I would have mentioned Brendan earlier. I mean, it was so important for us in that first late recruiting class because of just everything that was swirling around the program, in terms of the culture. Like, we couldn't afford to take a flyer on somebody that we didn't believe in wholeheartedly as a person, and as a guy that we could build an outstanding culture with. So, with Brendan, it was, obviously I had to convince him to come here and do it with us. But I knew I was getting, a kid, comes from a great basketball family, his brother, both his parents. Daryl was coach, Yolanda, an athlete in her own right. And, and obviously with Jalen, we had our battles back in the A-10, but this guy is just, he's just the hardest worker, incredible example of everything you want in your program, and, although, his role isn't, isn't right now, probably what he wants it to be or what it's been, we're not in this spot, this year without him in terms of what we've built and then how he's played for us this year,
Gavin? And just a quick thing on your contract extension. What does that kind of mean to you?
Obviously, professionally, you just, obviously you feel, you feel comfortable that, that the leadership here and the people, that are really, really important, that watch us very, very closely. And the people here, they watch us very, very closely, and they know what a program going in the right direction, should look like, because of everything that's gone on here. You obviously you feel good. I mean, I be honest with you, I'm not spending a whole lot of time thinking about it because, like, I'm just in this, I'm focused on tomorrow, and getting a great win to end this irregular season. And then obviously get to New York. I mean, listen, I feel great about where we're at. I mean, year 3, first year back in the Big East, we're competing at the top of the league. Obviously we've got, a great chance to be playing in the tournament. We've got a potential lottery pick. We got top 10 class coming in. We've done some work in the next class that we feel good about. It's only bigger and better from here. And I understand that, this is, this is year 3. I'm happy with where we're at. But we've got to continue to get this thing to a higher level because, that's the standard here. And that's why I wanted to be here. And why I'm so honored to lead the Huskies, at least on the men's side, the best fans in the country, the best support, the biggest media contingent. I mean, it's
A couple more guys.
Kentucky. I don't know who's got
Matt Finkel.
Thanks.
Hey, Dan, I know you're busy coaching basketball, but your wife is busy podcasting. What's her new venture mean to you, and how involved will you be with that?
A limited involvement. I'm a podcast listener. So, and I'm not, it's so much easier. It's so much harder to be a practitioner than it is a critic. So I'm going to stay in my lane. I think that's just a good rule of thumb to live your life. She's an expert in podcasting. That's not what I do. I'll support her well. It is funny. She's incredible personality. I think it's like a great thing to do. Most people don't understand the impact that this coaching life has on families going through a tough season, tough losses, the highs and lows. I think it's like it gives people and a different look at kind of the lives of coaches and athletes and different people. So she's awesome.
Wayne.
And has Josh been full go in practice the last couple of days? And could he have played the other night if the other guys weren't playing so well up front?
He could have given us something. He was probably 80%. I'd say he's probably close to 90, 95%. Isaiah's got a little hip, like a little hip, thing that's kind of kept him limited, but he should be good to go.
Last one from the writers, Dom.
Yeah, Dennis, I know you brought up after the Seton Hall game that I think the idea of not being complacent, and I just wonder how much a part of that has been your messaging this last couple of days. Don't give back what you gained the other night.
Finish. I said finish the last 2 days, probably 2,000 times, maybe more. Finish. I'm not. This year has meant a lot to obviously to everyone involved with the program, the fans, the school. It's brought a lot of excitement back to the men's side. Let's finish.
Okay, guys, can I ask the TV guys to just stay if they want to? Everybody else, that's the end of it.
Thank you.
See ya.
Clark, Cardi, you have anything?
Later, everybody.